Here's my review of Daredevil Born Again, episode 5 and 6. I really enjoyed both of these episodes. I think I enjoyed episode 5 more than episode 6, even though I really liked episode 6. And I think the majority of people will end up liking episode 6 more, which like I said, I still thought was really, really good. But what I liked so much about episode 5 was just it felt so small. Where in this episode, Matt Murdock goes to the bank to try to get a loan. And the banker, the accountant, is Yusuf Khan, father of Kamala Khan. And I just really like, I am one of those people, I thoroughly enjoyed the Miss Marvel show. I think that it is very underrated. And I just like seeing more of that interconnectivity, especially with Daredevil, since we finally got him back for so many years. And yes, he was kind of always in the MCU, but like, they only really made it canon recently. So just seeing him interact with more official like MCU characters was just really cool. And this just leads into like a really fun bank heist episode. Like Matt Murdock as a character, one thing that I like about him and that we see him here is we can tell how smart of a character he is and how strategic he is because of how he's able to keep calm with these bank robbers before he eventually like beats him up. I just really like that. He's so good at just talking. And you do get some really awesome fights. I have seen people complain about this show. And I say this almost every single time I do a review. Yes, I don't think that this show is as good. But I'm going to just try to take the positive approach because I do think that this show is good. It's just not as good as the original. But I mean, oh well. I mean, I'm going to at least try to enjoy it. And I am enjoying it so far. It is just not as good, sure. And with the action here, I still thought that there was quite a bit of really fun action with Matt beating up all these criminals. And with this just being such a secluded episode, like it just feels so in a bubble between the rest of the show. Like we don't really progress much of the main story here. I really liked it. Like I thought it was just a lot of fun. I liked seeing Matt Murdock just beat up all these criminals. I liked the Irish vibes as this one takes place during St. Patrick's Day. There's like a lot of like Irish music. There's a lot of fun here to be had. But I think I have seen some people say, oh, that episode was pointless. Like, why do we need this episode? And I'm like, I find that to be a weird argument saying that like, oh, what's the point? It's like, if the story is good, well, that is the point. Like, yes, this particular episode did not progress really the main story that much. We kind of just see more of just kind of showing more how, like, oh, a day in the life of Matt Murdock. Oh, there's a bank heist. He's got to stop it. But that's what superheroes do. That's what they do. Like, okay, how does the beginning of Spider-Man 2, when he saves those two kids from being hit by a truck, how does that progress the story? Like, no, that's just what superheroes do. They save people. I find that to be a really weird argument I've seen surrounding this episode. And on to episode 5. Or 6, I should say. Episode 6, I mean, I found this to be another really good episode. And this is one where we especially finally are seeing more of this like twisted villain that we've seen like teases of with Muse. And he's just very sick and twisted and just visually like the visual here are dark and gory. Like we're seeing pictures of what Muse did to these people. He literally gouged their eyes out and left them there. It's just his art and painted this just like horrific art piece with their blood. And like the cops even say like, yeah, this has been used with human blood. And it's just like, and it's interesting to see how Kingpin uses this almost as political power, saying, see, this is what we need to do to stop it. These vigilantes. But for some, it's that obvious like metaphor. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, but not all vigilantes are like this. These are the villains. These are the terrible killers. But obviously, I mean, Kingpin's just using it for his own personal gain and trying to put a warped spin on it. But it's just that interesting dynamic that I found to be very enjoyable. And with Kingpin doing his whole anti-vigilante task force, that just adds it feels like to me, I always found the idea of this concept back like when this was originally reported of like how Kingpin is gonna try to do this. I always found that weird because like the idea of a vigilante in general is technically already it is illegal, and it's like with some of these like superheroes. I mean, and we have the Marvel universe and at least the MCU has been around for so long. It's like there's always going to be superheroes here, and it just seems like odd. But I guess the idea is more like the street level, more grounded heroes. But like I get it, and I'm curious to see how it like goes like for the rest of this season. Because like I said, I always see people online every single time a new episode comes out say there's like a bunch of people saying this show is really bad. It's just disrespectful to the original show. And then other people are like, no, this show is great. It's like me, it's like I kind of just went in the shows like just be I just want to enjoy it. Like, yes, like, and I say every time, this isn't as good as the original show, but it's like, I still think that it's a solid show. I still think that all of our characters here are really strong. I find this plot to be engaging, at least Matt Murdock's main, like, his main character and his main plot and goals. But like I said, yes, this anti-vigilante plot line I always found to be weird, like, but I'm finding it engaging so far just because Wilson as a character is just so much fun. And like we dive more in like him and Vanessa and of course like how he captured like Vanessa's ex-boyfriend, whose name I can never remember. Adam. But like I said, I still find a lot of that stuff to be very compelling. That's why I am enjoying the show quite a bit. It's like, yes, it's not as good as the original show, but still, for what it is, it's pretty good. And I found the fight between Daredevil and Muse to be awesome. Like I said, I think visually, I just really love it. I think Muse's character design is so cool. It is so disturbing, and like I said, it's just Muse as a character was just so sickening. Like how at the beginning of these two girls, like, oh, can I have a selfie with you? And then he basically just probably killed them. Like we didn't see it, but like it's like this guy is just sick and twisted. And just seeing how like Daredevil saves Ava, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Ava Ayala, the nephew or the niece of White Tiger. Like just seeing all that was just really fun. Just seeing how he's sucking the blood out of her for his art. And they even explained earlier in the episode like how many people were probably killed for Muse to make that painting. Like this mural right here, as well as the Wilson Fisk mural. Like I said, this fight I really enjoyed. So yeah, I really enjoyed these two episodes. I've been enjoying the show so far, and I kind of just accept this show for what it is. It's like, and like I said, does it have as strong character moments as the real show? No, but I still think that the plots, like for example, that bank episode, it was just so episodic, but I found that to be enjoyable. I found that to be fun. I find what Daredevil's doing, like, and I found Muse as a character just interesting. I want to know more about him. And I find Fisk interesting. And I'm just liking the show so far, and I thought that these two episodes were both really, really good.